It's just the largest one we've had close. We've had 4.7, 4.8. Of course, Pawnee had a large one a few months ago, which is pretty close to Cushing, but this is the largest one in this particular area that we've experienced.
Where did y'all evacuate the senior citizens from tower?
We have a designated location, which is our youth center, and they'll be in the gym. Red Cross has come over, and we've got cots and everything. We'll be putting them up for this evening until we have a chance to assess where they're currently living.
And can you talk about the damage downtown? Because we heard about these 4 different buildings downtown that have damage. What those are.
Yes, ma'am. There's probably more than 4. There's multiple buildings downtown, and the damage ranges from broken windows to facade being broke and fallen to the ground. There's really no buildings that collapsed. It's mainly just the facade, the brick up at the upper parts have fallen to the street.
Is the Cimarron Tower the worst off?
Based on what I've seen, so far, it's probably the building that's the heaviestly damaged.
Talk about the age of these buildings and what your concerns are now.
The most of the buildings downtown area are early 1900, and so the foundation systems they have under them is significantly different than we would put in under buildings today. So I'm concerned about how much movement there was, and if the buildings are still structurally sound. It'll all be investigated to make sure that they're safe before we allow people back into the buildings.
I work downtown.
Yes, sir.
My office is right there, and it was damaged. Will I be able to go back to work tomorrow?
Yes, sir. What I know of what your building was damaged was just superficial in terms of the parapet wall fell. So I don't see, unless you get in the building and you see some cracks in the wall, things like that, then I would obviously not call us. We'll get someone in to inspect it.
Is there concern any more of those facades or any more bricks or things that fall through?
I think that is a concern. Chief can kind of speak to it, but we've basically locked the downtown area there that's got the substantial damage to keep people out of there, because in case we did have some other aftershocks or something, there is the potential that some things have been loosened up and mortars moved around, that additional bricks could fall or rocks could fall. So, yes, ma'am.
We always warn those people who want to come check things out after, kind of reiterate that warning from the city about, people make sure you stay away from anything that, could ultimately result in being injured.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we would appreciate any bystanders or onlookers to please stay out of the area, because all you do is endanger yourself. We're concerned about your safety, and there's really nothing at this point you can do. We've had lots of agencies reach out willing to help us, so I think we're in good shape with help.
Chief Holden, what has it been for your crew? What's it been like for you all?
Well, obviously, our main focus is to make sure that everybody was out of the area down there, out of the safely. Just like the manager Spears said, we are worried about some of the facade that's still loose on the buildings. We want to make sure that no one's down there walking around. We have currently coordinated all that area off, and we're trying to keep people out. So again, we want to encourage all citizens to avoid that area. Allow us to do our job, which are to maintain the security of those buildings down there. We do have some damage down there that we're trying to keep everybody out of. So again, just if they can help us out by staying out of there, that would be a great benefit.
How wide is the area you've cordoned off?
Basically from Noble Street all the way back to Say, and then from Moses all the way back to Cherry.
What kind of strain is this going to put on your emergency responders? Is this taking a lot of your manpower?
It is. We've currently planned for that. We have about 4 other outside agencies that are currently in here assisting with that, including both Lincoln County and Payne County Emergency Management. So we're going to work with those folks to make sure that our officers and the officers from the other agency are ready to go and work their normal patrol duties, but also be able to help cover this as well.
We heard schools might be closed tomorrow. Is that true?
I've heard no such report. The school system would make that call themselves, and they haven't shared that information yet. I don't know the extent if they've had any damage in the schools that are going to need to clean up or anything, but don't know.
Is everyone's still without power?
I don't believe so. If it is, it's going to be just hit and miss play locations. The majority of everyone's back on.
You also said there was damage to the movie theater. Is there anything that you all can tell us about that?
As far as external, I did not notice any damage to the movie theater. I did not go inside the building. I mean, like in this building, if you get to some of the other offices, you'll see the ceiling tiles fallen. We've got 3 or 4 other city buildings that have minor damage, in terms of ceiling tiles, you know, falling and stuff. So maybe similar to the movie theater. I've not been inside of it.
What did you all feel personally when that earthquake occurred? How was, I mean, were you home or were you, kind of tell us about what you felt?
I can give you my experience. I'm sure the other gentleman will share theirs, but I was sitting home doing some work in my office. I got a little office at home, and just basically you can just feel the whole house sway some. And then I've got you know, knickknacks on a shelf that all come. The wife's got a bakery rack that actually dumps stuff in the floor. It's just, you know, the normal type of stuff when you have an earthquake this magnitude that it's going to fall off shelves and off walls.
Is anything normal?
It's beginning to become normal, it seems like, Jim. No, I'm sure it's not normal, but as many as we've had in the area over the last 3 or 4 years, nothing surprises you anymore.
And could you go over, I know you just spoke on it, but what you said about the oil field?
The reports that we've received, which have been given to us through our fire chief, has been that 2 of the terminals that we've been in touch with, I think it was NGL and TransCanada Pipeline, have not received any damage whatsoever to their terminals that we're aware of. Unless they chose to not disclose that information, which I don't believe they would, we don't see any issues out there at the oil storage facilities.
Jeremy, you just had an earthquake or an oil problem earlier last week, I guess. Is this becoming a bad eye, a black mark for Cushing?
I wouldn't believe so. I think that, you know, Cushing is obviously a bright spot, not only for the state, but for the country. And I would imagine that the individuals who are here are very proud of everything that happens in Cushing. So,
I think one thing, it speaks to our preparedness. I mean, this is nothing that we're not prepared for. We're doing a drill coming up on the 17th of this very type of disaster, only worse. So we continually to train all of our officers and fire departments and public works people are trained to handle these type of things. We'll handle it, and just going to be a matter of time to get things cleaned back up and back to normal. If you were talking about the oil leak they had, if you were able to go out there, that was handled very professionally, cleaned up. I mean, they're prepared too. I mean, it's just part of the industry. You have to be prepared because things do happen no matter how much precautions you take. So I think it shows how well Cushing is prepared.
Can you all repeat your spelling and your titles of your names? We didn't get everybody.
Go ahead, Chief.
Tully Folden, T-U-L-L-Y, Folden, F-O-L-D-E-N, Chief of Police, Cushing PD.
Jeremy Frazier, Jeremy, Frazier, Assistant City Manager.
Steve Spears, Stevespears. I'm the city manager.
And one last time, I don't know if you said it, I know you said that there were no reports of damage to the oil facility, but have the oil procedures been shut down at this point for safety precautions?
At this time, I can't really answer that question. We just got initial reports of damage assessments, but as far as ongoing procedures, we're not aware of that at this time.
What would you expect the response to be for wastewater injection?
If it's on, like it has been in the past, usually the Corporation Commission either cuts down the amount of wastewater that's injected or they prohibit it for a certain period of time. So that's kind of out of our jurisdiction. That'd be up to the Corporation Commission. I think it's a balance. Obviously, the oil industry is very essential to Cushing and our area that our workers that work in the oil field. Obviously, you know, we have a great concern about property damage, so there's got to be a balance worked out. But we trust the Corporation Commission to basically do that for us. Yes, ma'am. We'll do one tomorrow morning about 9 o'clock. Anyone that's interested, we'll have a better idea of the actual damages. We'll try to get out and maybe take some photographs, and we'll share those with you all. At this point, let's plan on being right here. this building seems to be in pretty good shape and be a good place to have it.
Do you know if anyone else was displaced outside the facility?
No, sir. We haven't heard of anything.
Did you guys say there were injuries at all? Did you summarize that?
There was, Jeremy can speak to that, but there was, I think, a few minor ones, nothing major. We're very fortunate there. You know, as far as the oil industry, we have a corporation called SAC, and they're the one that kind of helps with Safety Alliance of Cushing. We've had no reports from them, so I'm comfortable we haven't had any problems in the oil field because they would be reporting directly to our fire department.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.